Alright, now I know for a fact my mic is working. There we go. Good morning, good evening, good night for wherever you all are. Bum bum bum. Click the thing. Oh. Hold on. Let me see if I can double screen this. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, it's just going to be a little doodling stream unless I don't know, lose it and do more than just a little doodle. It's a very inspiring day, though. I think there's a lot of fun stuff happening in the next couple weeks for fandom stuff I follow. So even if I feel like doo-doo, a lot of neat things are happening. Bum, bum. And even though OBS says my mic is working, is it really working, Orsi? Okay, cool. It do be working. Doopy 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 doop. I don't know what I want to do. One second. I did something. It should be fine now. There we go. Sometimes that happens. Okay. It's like there's the urge to do more than doodle, but we shall see. Because I at least can sort of fudge her. Boop, 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 boop. Bum, bum, bum. One day I'll actually do a stream of in detail of how I work, because how I do art apparently irritates the heck out of my friend. She says it's very chaotic. And that's okay. You know what? We're going backseat mode. No, I don't like that. I think I like bats maybe a little bit too much, but then again, I've been told I have a weird likeness for creepy things. So who knows? I think a lot of bats can be extremely adorable, especially the ones that look goofy. Bum, bum, bum. You know what? I am doing a bigger drawing, though it will be a short stream anyways, because there's going to be a very chaotic cooking stream I want to watch. And one of the people I watch, whenever she does a cooking stream, it's so chaotic. One day that would be cool to do something like hand cam cooking stuff. But this person in particular, oh my god, she like lacks a lot of necessary tools. And when I mean that, I don't mean, oh, you gotta have a whisk and this and that, because technically you don't. I use a lot of using hands or using chopsticks or a fork, because I mean that stuff works easily enough for most ways. But the funnier part was watching, I had to be watching her try to make takoyaki by putting the stuff in a ladle and then trying to put it on it like a, I don't know what it's called, but it's one of those small little plug-in heating tops, like a little portable one. And it wasn't like an open flame, it was like a glass top, so it was pretty funny. Very chaotic. Yeah, I'll probably send you the clip later, Orsi, because I was just like cries and cooking, but it's so hilarious. I haven't had that much joy from like watching cooking stuff in a while. Because I like watching some cooking stuff, especially when it comes to like street food things. Yeah, that's probably what the stream will be. Will be like off-topic discussion while I'm drawing. Actually, I'm gonna make this part go down. Dun, dun, dun. Bum, bum. Oh yeah, so recent talks about like anime. I think something really cool that I was watching before I streamed is a VTuber that I follow announced that a 2-year project they had been working on of a featured length film, and it has a lot of really good what's it called, voice actors like Alejandro Saab, Amelie, so that's gonna be really cool. Jonah Scott. I don't watch a lot of like dub stuff, like English dub, but when I do, it's like a select few that I could recognize and actually enjoy. And it's not like the whole, oh, because the OG is better and English dub sucks, but I'm like, ugh. No, it's an original project. In fact, I'll actually link it because it's completely free too, because he's been pouring, or you can check it on my Twitter. I retweet it on Twitter. But he completely has been funding it over the past couple years, and I was watching the like little announcement stream of it, and it just looks so good. Since I'm a big like yeah, you can still definitely come across bad ones, but this is purely like something original based off of his character's lore. And because I'm a big world builder and did a lot of study for animation, I'm like, oh my god. Even the poster looks so good. But it's funny because when it releases, it'll be like 8 a.m. So I'm like, ugh. It's worth it. Right? Good for them. That's so cool. I would 100% do a film one day if I could. It's pretty much what I was going to school for and all anyways. But a lot of that is just like money-wise prevents a lot of things for people. Which it can be a sad thing, but that's okay. There's always time. Boop, boop, boop. Maybe I'll actually do something one day with my schooling stuff, but we shall see. And it's funny, I really could have gotten an easy way in to a private art school, but I got messed up with financial things because they messed up my funding in a way. And I was like, look, I'm not going into thousands of dollars in debt for my just tuition alone. Like, just tuition alone was easily over 60K for one like term. And I was like, no thank you. Oh yeah, I went to school. Cause like right now, obviously the way I doodle and stuff like this and that, it's not like the best, and I acknowledge that, because my specialty was more on the lines of different development of projects. It was kind of like more art direction style, producer sort of storyboarding stuff with a lot of lighting specialty, because I don't know, lighting was just like a little fun thing. At first I didn't expect to like it. But then my teacher at that time was just like, you're really good at that. And I'm like, am I? Yeah, no, so like it started when one of my, not a lot of high schools will offer stuff like animation, or at least I don't know if they do right now. They might have changed. But mine that I went to, it had an experimental class of it. We are pretty much the guinea pigs. And I was one of the few that made it to the 4th year of it. Like there was only like literally 3 people, and that period itself had like 3 different levels of classes in it. So I had that like pride going for me, I guess you can say. And because of my teacher there and a teacher in middle school as well, they would have helped me brownie point wise get into the college I was wanting to go into, because this university, this private one, could be very strict on who they let in. And they knew some of the professors there. So it was like, oh, I had brownie points, I would have had connections. I toured there a couple times, so they knew me. Even they like, I keep wanting to say manager, but it's a different term when it comes to schools. I forget what it's called. But the person you talk to about like different class things for you, for like setting it up. No, not the dean. It was like lower than that. It was one of the people that will like help adjust you what classes you should be taking, and then also talk to you about financial stuff. But yeah, it was the financial aid I was supposed to get and the grants I was supposed to get, because I was supposed to also get scholarship stuff. Yeah, kind of like an academic advisor. I think they just had a fancier name than that because of it was a private college. But it was pretty much that. But yeah, it was funny during the tours too, because I even remember even the like photography teacher, a professor, was super cool, and we had a long talk even though I would have never had his class either. He was just like, oh yo, let's chat. And that dude was crazy, but in a good way. Because we were talking about lighting stuff, because I actually one time went with a friend who was going into photography. So I like got to talk to that professor. And that professor was so funny. He's like, oh yeah, sometimes I will just message the group chat of all my students and be like, yo, go outside and take an object, put it in the moonlight that's out there right now, and visualize. Or he was told that he would jump up on desk and be like, look at the way my shoe looks right now. Visualize. Oh my god, it was so chaotic. But yeah, no, it was major double digits for just the tuition alone. If I wanted to count room and board plus the technology I needed for my specific stuff I was going for, it possibly would have been over 100K for like a whole year. That's like if I didn't have financial aid, my scholarships and everything, and like decent stuff going on. But because they messed up with the paperwork, they're like, hey, if you're still wanting to go in for this year, unfortunately it's going to be this much. And it was just the tuition they told me, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but no, that's awful. Like, I understand I was having brownie points and like they knew me, not like in a special, oh, they know me, but they knew me that I was just a student trying to go. That some teachers in different public schools were like, oh, this person's talented in this specific thing. And I'm just like, I ain't paying that money. Or rather, I'm not getting a loan and being in debt for that long. And I think a lot of art colleges are actually like that, unfortunately. Where they're super pricey. And just tuition alone, that's minus all of the costs that someone might have to do for. But then again, that usually happens when it comes to specialty ones or private ones. So yeah, it was more like storyboarding and art direction. That was my specialty. Hi, Wilson. It's been a bit since I seen you in a stream, so that's fun. Welcome, welcome. I am getting a little bit sickly, so I sound probably rough because I was cleaning my computer and oh yeah, I did not have a mask and the dust really messed me up, I should say. So I sound dehydrated, mummified. It was just gonna be doodles, but I don't know, I kept drawing. And right now we're talking about like art stuff is so cool and passion projects is so cool, and at times, unfortunately, art colleges are super expensive. At least where I live. I don't know exactly how it is for other places. But that really would be like a super cool project one day, to like be able to work on a big animation project. But yeah, funding and stuff like that is always like the killer when it comes to those sort of projects. All good, all good. I need to stop just doing detail here and actually, you know, do the body. Let's see. Yeah, because I was saying I've had like schooling to do different animation stuff, and I acknowledge I'm not the best artist. In fact, I get so excited when I see people who are like amazing artists. I more so had more fun when it came to the actual world building, storytelling aspects of that. Yeah. And I had some weird good like thing when it came to rigging the lighting for a lot of animation projects, so that was always funny. I don't even know how I want to do a body for this. I didn't even mean for this to happen. You know what? It's not gonna happen. It's just gonna stay a doodle. Yeah, stuff like art direction and everything, that would be so amazing to be a part of one day. Hehehe. Oh yeah, no, I'm pretty good with my Blender already. Yeah, it's funny. There's actually a lot of online resources that are free courses as well. In fact, there's, I forgot what it's called, but there's one where people put up either paid or free sort of online courses where it has so many different segments, and it's like different projects where it teaches you how to do this project, but also teaches you the basics that you can do at any time because it's something they've uploaded. You get it, you download it, and it's like always there for you, that you can work on it whenever. Because I think if I remember correctly, we used that site for a few projects when it came to Maya, when it came to ZBrush. Oh my gosh, one of the first programs we used that was so funny was Toon Boom. Toon Boom. I don't even know if people still use Toon Boom. I think Toon Boom was, since we were doing a lot of 3D animation instead of 2D animation, that was more so like just learning basic sort of things for it. Like, oh, you must understand how story building and framework works. And I'm like, okay. Everyone proceeds to use I think most of the stuff we did in Toon Boom was memes. There was one animation a friend did where it was just a Pokeball hitting a Pikachu's face, and the Pikachu had a very meme face, and it just would grunt each time it hit it. First, you've heard of that, Orsi, of Maya? Maya is Autodesk Maya is one of the like more known and used professional like 3D animation software. Blender is like the more freebie, easier to pick up one. Maya also is a much more helpful when it comes to environmental 3D creation. Oh, Toon Boom. Listen, this is like our conversation yesterday about how sometimes people really make me feel old. Yeah, Toon Boom is like a more 2D sci-fi. Let's see. We worked with Autodesk, Maya, Mudbox, ZBrush. We worked with Toon Boom. But we didn't have Blender then. I don't know, when did Blender come out? Because I don't remember it being available, or like I don't remember that coming up. Blender. Let's see. About. Released. Oh, Blender's been out since 1994, but we never used it. That's weird. I didn't hear about Blender till after schooling for me. Like, I kind of briefly heard it, but I didn't see anyone like actually using it as much as people use it now. Yeah, because Maya's the more professional, like, sometimes Maya would really make me mad, but Maya, when it comes to rigging, is really good. Yeah, like Blender, I believe Blender boosted up in popularity when it came to VTubers, to be honest, in COVID. Because people are at home, they want to do something creatively, it's free, and I believe Blender gets used a lot with a lot of people's 3D models. I see both Blender and Maya used for, because I watch, or not watch, I follow a lot of creature creation artists, and a lot of them sculpt using Blender and rig using Maya. Most of the time they're just sculpting stuff, and it's so cool just to see people make these monstrous creations. I know, because I would follow a lot of other gaming streamers and everything, but then at some point the streamers I would follow would have collabs with like the very few VTubers that like pretty much existed. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then people say it boomed in 2020 when COVID started, but I didn't actually follow along with VTuber stuff and indie VTuber and PNG tuber stuff till like the beginning of this year. I was like, wait, some of these people are kind of cool. What's all this? Just the, what's all this over there? And since I'm a very big like world creation person, I think why I got so sucked into it is from watching some of their like lore videos at times, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I don't even, you know what, I don't even know what this is anymore right here. But I'm gonna make them have the bat nose. You know what? No, I have an idea. New layer. I want to do... But it's so cool seeing people have fun with VTuber stuff. I'm lucky for the most part that how my Twitter is curated for my For You page. I don't see a lot of the drama that people talk about at times. My For You page is usually just memes and Baldur's Gate. Like right now, it's sometimes VTuber stuff if I missed their posts, and then it's Baldur's Gate. Bum, bum, bum. I think especially I didn't really understand or pay attention too much to it because I was working or I was sick. And I'm just like, I'm just gonna watch my funky little videos over here. But then, I don't know, I just came across a bunch of them and I was like, whoa, this is so cool. I think it's also because when it was going off, I was playing a lot of Shadowbringers. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't have time to watch VTubers and stuff because I was in Ishgard Restoration. Plus, in 2020 or 2021, one of those, probably 2020, is also when Resident Evil Village came out. Many TTubers in particular. Yeah, I actually, I'll link you some. I follow a few groups. I don't know if I have like, I'm kind of in this way to where I don't really have favorites. I don't know what to say to that. I have friends that are big hardcore K-pop fans, and when they ask me stuff like my stans and stuff, I'm like, I don't know how to respond because I don't get very passionate or stuck to one thing. I just kind of like watch different groups. And I think recently I would get super pumped up when Holo Stars or Holo Live, they start to do a bunch of projects lately, so that was like super exciting, especially the ID branch. They had their 3D debuts recently, so that was pretty hype. And then there was a while I would follow the Noctix group from Niji Sanji and their Etheria group, especially oh yeah, chaotic. Etheria is very chaotic. And there's a lot of times I laugh because I wouldn't get the membership for like Millie Parfait, but then I would see the notification I got gifted a sub, so it's like for months in a row I joke around like, I've been kidnapped again. Because some of them have funny memberships stuff, and Millie is one of them. That's most of the time I feel like I only really follow VTubers when they have me dying from laughter. I'm just gonna cheat and reuse this call over here. Right. There's a lot that I follow though. I even follow some indie ones that are pretty good. I follow some lesser known industry ones. Recently I followed this indie one who's really small creator, but they have a frog VTuber and they're so freaking funny. And it's funny to me because like the first video I see of the frog VTuber is like, yeah, a frog, or see, you know, the frog rep. But I was laughing because one of the videos is displaying the fact that the anime face like literally breaks apart and shows like a cyborg face inside, and I'm like, yo, I like this. I'm like, this is cool. Yeah, so I'm like, all hail the frog overlord. I feel like if I see any more frog VTubers, I just follow them, no questions asked. I definitely follow people more either if they're hilarious to like, I don't know, my way of humor, because I understand there's a lot of ones that are super popular to people, but I'm just like, they're talented, but it's just not my thing. And especially if they have lore stuff that has made me cry, I most likely have them in like my top rating. It's like, if you give me like almost Shadowbringer's trauma, then yeah, I'm gonna follow you. And that's always one of my standards of storytelling. Like, if you hurt me like Final Fantasy XIV hurts me, I will most likely be following you passionately. How the heck did I draw my own hair? Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, it's very much like kind of good in a way that I don't see a lot of VTuber drama, because I feel like I'm pretty... Wait, 14. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna be back for Dog Trail, because I don't believe them that it's gonna be just a vacation. I keep telling Renee, I'm like, I don't trust it. Like, Ishikawa is an amazing writer, and I have full faith that she will just emotionally torment me. Ishikawa, I want to be as elite as her when it comes to storytelling. Especially because some of my more favorite job classes with their lore and everything like that is usually the ones that Ishikawa has had influence in, and I'm like, of course that's the case. Oh yeah. I'm getting texted. Why am I getting texted? White cream. Wait, wait. Hold on. I gotta respond to text. Water washable. White. Makeup palette. White cream. And if you films. Yeah, I had to respond to a text because every Halloween I do the costume painting for my sibling. He usually goes to a costume contest. And he sent me pictures of the last of the makeup stuff they had and was like asking, oh, what's better for what we have planned? And I'm like, okay, these ones. That's also another fun thing I like doing, besides like 2D animation, 3D animation, story building and stuff like that. It's I like to do a lot of costume design. I had a friend in schooling that was really great with prop making, and at times I would help him with the painting for it. But I like more so costume design when it comes to 3D effects for like the face and everything. I like pulling off different emotions and stuff like that, especially if you're messing around with like bits. This year we were going cheap. It's just like Misfit. Dum dum dum. Cream. Yes. No. A sponge. Yeah, misfit as in like the misfits. So it's just pretty much just applying some white paint. Cause I'm just like, oh, make sure you only get this certain type base of costume paint because not all of them are good. Some of them are awful and really greasy and will make you overheat. Yeah, I get really into it when it comes to like, oh yeah, don't get this one, this is gonna make you overheat. Don't get this, it'll like melt off. I even was like, okay, what about Ghost? Because Ghost face paint and their makeup design's really more dramatic than most. And I like dramatic styles. Okay, that's fine where that is. I'll just but yeah, before that was interrupted, I'm definitely coming back for Dawn Trail. I gotta know what happens. Just right now, I'm obviously not playing because I just, one, can't afford to play a game I'm not like too into right now. And even then, I adore 14, but I kind of want to work on a lot, especially for this channel. And I can't do that if I'm like crafting constantly or gathering. I definitely wasn't into raiding this time around. I wanted to be. I was gonna even do some pugging, if anything, but I decided not to. I felt very jaded when it came to raiding, so I'm like, not really. Yeah, and I had to learn that to take a break because I would be known to just constantly play something even if I wasn't feeling it, considering the fact that I used to play World of Warcraft for 10 plus years. Yeah. I would still play despite it going downhill. I think it took, shoot, I know one of the times I started getting pissed when it came to playing World of Warcraft, it was when the Shot of Anger was a thing and Mr. Pandaria. That one broke me because I was a healer and I did not like doing that. Oh yeah, no, I can't imagine. I still know people that play and my childhood friend still plays, but I'm like, when she told me, oh yeah, so you remember the levels we got to? That's non-existent anymore. You're reduced to this level now. And I'm like, all of those years. She's like, yeah, there's a story reason, but it's dumb. And I'm like, I can't do it. I was like, all of those years of grinding levels. I'm like, no, it ain't worth it. That makes me sad. I forgot what it was reduced to, but I was just like, What in the world? Get over there. Wait. I have made a mistake. Wait, no, this is fine. I'm gonna be honest. I have opinions that the fact that I actually don't care for vanilla WoW. Like, sure, a lot of people have nostalgia for it, but I always just had rage. I'm like, why would I go back to a time I was just mad? I had rage too, because I was just like, people would be silly if they say World of Warcraft was not toxic. I'm like, yo. Like, if you went to, I think Classic goes up in expansions now. Like, you could do Burning Crusade, what's the next one called? Burning Crusade. I'm having a brain fart on the next one's name. I just keep wanting to call it Ice Crown Citadel, even though that's not the expansion, that's the raid. Death Knight, when they come out. I'm trying to remember the name of it by memory. Wrath of the Lich King. Yeah, I kept only wanting to call it Ice Crown Citadel because Ice Crown Citadel was just like buried into my brain. You fell off when Cataclysm came out? I peaked in Cataclysm. I evolved into a monstrosity when Cata came out. I am a PvPer, okay? Always. And I was hardcore into Arena when it came to Cataclysm. I love the storytelling in Cataclysm too, but I might be biased because of my love for dragons anyways. Mr. Pandaria was just the Frog Apocalypse, that's all I remember. That, the Shot of Anger, grinding for the serpent mounts, farming. I remember farming. But Cataclysm, I was that person that I was a ret pally for one. And I would be full Valorant arena gear going into regular raiding and still pulling off some of the top DPS and healing just because Retribution Paladin was so broken and thin. And no one batted an eye. Instead, they would call out other people in the raid that was like awful DPS, awful heal, stuff like that. You know, the usual toxic World of Warcraft style. But no one said anything to me. If anything, they were like, how the fuck? And I'm like, yeah. I had no proper words for them. I was just like, yeah. Just feel the weight of it all. But I think one of the most awful times I had in Cataclysm was, I think it was called Deep Home. I don't know, it was the area that was in the middle, that was in the whirlpool, and you go down and it's like an underground sort of area with a bunch of crystals and everything. And the raids there were really fun, but I remember you could get one of the rare, I don't remember what they're called for that, but they had these stone drakes mounts. One was on a random spawner, where this spawner was every 8 hours, and it was a 1 in 4 chance of being the dragon or being just this other creature that would come out. And then they had a dungeon that had its variant there, and I remember we had a crappy person in our dungeon that ninja'd the mount and then left. I felt so much anger. Ugh. I was just like, nope, nope. Mr. Pandaria, I was just like, it was just anger time. And then, then there were the, Demon Hunters and whatever that next expansion was, and that was pretty much when I was like, nah, I'm not playing much anymore. I don't remember what that was called either. I think I was just getting really turned off from it because in whatever that one was with the Demon Hunters, I was kind of like over the whole, oh, you have to gather all of these crystals for all these world event things, and if you want to proceed you need X amount, and I'm like, ugh. But I was a very awful mount farmer, so I was already worn out from constantly farming for mounts. And when it came to having to collect all these crystal things just to be able to proceed with reputation grinding or this or that, I was just like, I ain't feeling it. I ain't feeling it. Bam, bam. Oh yeah, I had achievements for like X amount of mounts and everything. I don't remember what I ended with, but I was freaking nutso for mounts. I don't even want to talk about the time work during. You know how much anger that would leave me because of hunters that would come along and snipe it, and my pathetic little rep pally self only had judgment as like the automatic cast I could do. I would literally, because where you wait on the hills was really awkward, and I was very what would you say, not competitive, but I didn't like standing there if other people are standing there. So what I would do is the very paladin thing of whenever it would spawn, if I was around there, I would dismount in the air, hit it on the way down, and then bubble. But each time, somehow, the hunter always got it anyways, and I was like, no, I can't do it. I can't. It's too much. I felt so much pain. Oh, what was my more proud mounts? I don't know. I don't even remember what all the mounts were called. I know I had fun with having, because I did PvP a lot, I tried to get a lot of land mounts to flex. Because, you know, that was a very PvP thing to do, is use land mounts to flex on people. I had the skeleton raptor from doing archaeology stuff. It wasn't hard to get, but it was kind of annoying. Like, if someone didn't have flying, that would be annoying. Oh. Or see, this is where we're rivals. I was Horde. I was Horde. Oh, the Horde. My main was Horde, at least. I did have an alliance character, though. My alliance was a disc priest squid. What do you mean? Of course I was. I was. And you know what? I took over Goldshire constantly. I was one of those people. I also was one of the tram people. I would go into Stormwind and go into the tram, get off of PvP, and just sit there at times. It was either that or there's this part on top of Stormwind, the like whatever it's called in Stormwind, the big peak thing. It's not a castle, is it? But I would remember I would go to the top of it and you could dismount on the very top peak and it will actually be to where you can be unflagged PvP after the like 5-minute wait time. And it was just so funny where I would be up there and I would see another horde fly by, sit there, and it's like I wouldn't know these other horde characters, but we would try to stack as many as we could there just for the fun of it. Yeah, I mained as a blood elf ret pally. Only when it came to raiding and stuff did I switch between prot or holy for my secondary. Most of the time I was ret for PvP. Listen, Horsey, this is maybe where we're divided. But there was only very few enemies I had alliance-wise. I'm joking. I've actually had people make a horde alt just to yell. People on WoW were like hilarious. I wasn't like toxic. I just killed players. Listen. It was all according to Keikaku. Not toxic at all. I think that's why a lot of things don't bother me though, is because I played WoW for so long and I also played League for a long time. And things like Gary's mod, any version of Gary's mod was pretty toxic, even Prop Hunt. Oops. I've been forged in flames. No, I think the funniest part, one of the funniest, I've had 2 funny interactions out in the real world. One time I was on a vacation and I was going in the elevator and I had a horde wallet I had for so many long years, and I was getting my wallet out to take my key card out for the room I was staying at. And as I was leaving, the person leaving before me, or no, I was leaving, they were still in the thing. They said something and I didn't hear what they said. I'm used to ignoring people that try to talk to me when I'm walking around. And I was going, and as I got to my door, I paused and I realized they had said "for the Alliance" at me. And I was just like, I had one of those moments where I just stood there and I'm like, motherfucker. And I saw them again. They're sitting down reading in like this lobby area later on, because it's on a, we did a thing where we would save up throughout the year and everything and book like a cruise sort of deal. Because if you save up for the year and make like payments, it's not as bad, especially if you're not trying to go on like a huge expensive one. And I saw them on this like a lobby deck reading off to the side, and as I walked by them I was like, for the horde. So I had a little rival on there. Another time was funny. I didn't have a Horde shirt. I had one that had like both of their logos on it. It was kind of like Alliance half and Horde half, kind of when they mash up both of the emblems. And I went to a show, like a Broadway show, but it was touring here, so it's, I don't know what else to call it, a theater. And I was sitting down like against this floor waiting for a family member to get out of the bathroom before we went to go watch it. And this dude comes by and he like leans down and points his fingers and he's like, Horde or Alliance? And I'm like, Horde. And he's like, damn it. And he walks off. And I'm like, it's always so funny. I don't know why. Like, I don't know what to tell you, bud. Oh, thick eyebrow. Thick. And you know what's funny? Even though I'm an Omni crafter in 14 and I have so much gil, I hated crafting in World of Warcraft. I despised it. I don't know why, or at least I don't remember why. I think the system I just didn't agree or like in World of Warcraft. I think if I remember correctly, I only really did yeah, it was pretty limited with like certain gathering or crafting and stuff. Well, I didn't mind the making alts, but because of World of Warcraft, I have a thing where I hate going constantly through story. Yeah, that was like making the alts and having to go through story, especially because I didn't want to buy a boost. I was like, That's why I have like the main character in Final Fantasy 14, and that's pretty much like it for me. I get so tired out. And then there's friends I know like Renee who will constantly make characters and go through story, and I'm like, what are you made out of? You can't do that. I'll just leave this eyebrow here on a separate layer because I don't know if I like the placement yet. Yeah, no, Renee's a machine. Renee could totally buy a boost, but Renee is just like, nah. And I respect that. Oh, Final Fantasy 14 is also hilarious. My OG character wasn't a warrior. Warrior is the only one I actually committed to, but when I played the free trial, my first character was actually a rogue. And the reason why is because a rogue PvP in 14 or WoW was so fun. And I was like, surely it'd be the same, right? Yeah, so when I bought the game, I did not play. It wasn't the same. I had, in World of Warcraft, I had my Ret Pally main. And I was like, this is the only one I'm going through story with. Then I had my Disc Priest for raiding and some PvP on Alliance. And then I had Rogue Smurfs to do PvP at low level. Because, I don't know, it was fun. There's a lot of people that would do that. Yeah, no, it's definitely different because I hated Warrior in World of Warcraft, but I main Warrior in 14. I think the one thing I do miss is, despite how 14 plays, there are some things I do miss play style wise from World of Warcraft, but that's mainly combat stuff and not at all like graphic wise. 14 is beautiful graphic wise when it comes to abilities, but WoW wise, I felt like I had a little bit more control when it came to like doing stuff, especially PvP. I kind of think I liked PvP in WoW way more. Oh, actually, yes. I will say I enjoyed World of Warcraft PvP 10 times more. I get so upset when it comes to PvP in 14. Especially having to deal with zoo summoners. That's like having, or I don't think it's a 14 term, but in WoW it was zoo hunter, so that's what I just refer to summoners when it comes to queuing for PvP and having to deal with summoners. I can't think, despite how I usually draw their eyes, I think I'm gonna make the eye bigger for the sake of this. Zoo means you just have a lot of things you bring out. So hunters, like the beast tamer, I think it's called, or beast hunter in WoW, you had the ability where like the X amount of creatures you had tamed as a hunter, you could use them all at once and they would charge people, and it was insane dealing with in WoW. So we would call them zoo hunters because it's like you released a zoo on them. And 14, the only people that really use that term are probably people from WoW that went to 14, because summoner will just burst out all their Bahamut, and it's not the fact that they can summon a lot of things, but if you go into the Alliance PvP, the one with all 3 groups, and you just see tons of Bahamut all at once. It looks like a zoo. It's multiple people, but it still looks like one. Like you just see Bahamut everywhere, and it's just like, ugh. You see Phoenix everywhere, and it's like, oh no. It's that, and one of my big griefs, I feel like there's a lot more cheats and stuff that are so awful that people get away with in 14 PvP rather than WoW. Because WoW people, they'd be stupid, but I don't sit there. I get it's something you can do, but I hate the fact when you have captured a flag. I don't remember what it's called, but I know it's captured a flag. And you go to get the tower or whatever it is, a base, or, you know, like the different rank spots, and you go to click it, but you have this duo comes up that's a paladin and a priest, and I think it's the paladin that uses this ability that makes the other person untargetable or something, and so the priest will go and click the thing, and it's like they literally can just get it and no one can contest it. And that's like, oh, I hate it so much. I almost hate it more than having the one where it's the mid area with 6 bases around and having to deal with the frog monk. Legendary frog monk. But I have made a sort of neutral passiveness with the frog monk. Anytime he would see me, he would let me go. I don't know if you ever dealt with him, but this dude would wait in the middle. He has, I don't remember what the gear is called, but it's like one of the robes that looks like it's supposed to be for Sam, but it's not. And he has the green, just basic green frog helmet on. And he will wait till people try to go up the stairs and the ramp, and he would just like meteor drive them off and instantly kill them. And I'm like, oh, he's so scary. He's literally like the troll under the bridge. You can't get past them. And most of the time he just stays up there, because when people try to go up there, he just overtakes it. I think one of the times we had our mutual agreement is because when I go into PvP, I'm usually using the frog outfit. My brass dye version that I like because Goldie. And actually I'm gonna keep this eye here. But I would what would I do? I used to do that all the time, no matter what class I was. It was the frog helmet with the Mog Koopa jacket, my shiny scaled tights, and the whatever boots. It was either the Ishgardian thigh boots, depending on level available, because then I would turn into the adept style boots that you have to be a certain level to use. And that was always like the drip for my PvP because it looks so dumb. But then I started using that first round of gear you could get from like the, I don't know what you would call it besides a battle pass of constantly doing PvP and you get the rewards. I used that a lot because I mainly did a lot of healer instead of other ones for a bit, because I don't know, Astrologian was hilarious in PvP. There would be times where I would be Astro and Renee would queue up as well, and we'd try to queue up at the same time and end up on opposite teams, and we'd just hunt each other down. Let's see here. How do I want the eyes to look? I think that's always my thing though. I like a lot of different games, but I feel like I always lean towards games where I can PvP. I don't know what that says about me, but and it's not like a toxic, ah ha ha, I am so good, you suck. It's just, it feels cool to beat someone in a way. Kind of like competitive, but I'm just like, you thought. I always tried to do the things that people didn't expect in PvP though. Like whenever I 1v1 a tank or a monk or something in 14 and I'm sitting there as Astro and I'm kicking their butt, it feels great. Because then they're just like starting to freak out and run off like, oh, I don't know how to feel about this. And I'm like, you get back here. And then in WoW, I don't know, I just really liked Red Pally because I had the talent, because I know they had the talent trees and everything where I would do judgment and it would make me speed up and I would just, no one could get away from me unless it was like a mage that can just put me in place and I'm like, oh, got put in timeout. Or priest too would use fear or something. It always felt like I just got put in timeout, though. They wouldn't even try to attack me or run away. They would just put me in place and just watch me. Rogues at least would try to kill me after they stun me. Unless you're in arena, because in arena, the rogues would just perma stun me and then kill the other person. I think also that's kind of why I feel a little off with 14 sometimes, because I understand like people having grief over, oh, this person was so rude or this and that, and I'm like, you shouldn't really care that much though. You shouldn't let it get to you. But I understand though, that's probably because I've dealt with so much, you know, the forged in flames, dealt with all that, and I'm like, no, you just have fun with it. Screw what other people think about your play style or anything. If anything, I say that 14's probably the most positive game I've played, community-wise. So yeah, when I would be in different FCs or anything and people would panic, or friends in the past I would play with before recent FCs, I would just be like, yo, it's no big deal. You got this. Like, 14 has been so kind compared. Oh yeah, no, it is definitely more casual. It's not more so like they don't like losing in 14. It's just I think the basic things is when people have super big anxiety or get upset when it comes to dungeons, and like, oh, I don't want, oh, these strangers to judge me in this way. And I'm like, I'm gonna be honest, you shouldn't even have that worry, because most of the time they're probably just chilling, having a movie off to the side or eating and just going through it as well. Like, you're perfectly fine. There's other friends when I recommend games, I can happily recommend them 14. Because it's really kind to new players compared to a lot of other games. Yeah. Like, they get so worried and flustered and everything, and I'm like, hey, it's okay. Compared to a lot of games, you have no need to worry here. Yeah, exactly. Because then you have me where me troll, or I don't know why I talked like that and stuttered, where Renee and I will joke around, because when I would level healer, at the time, that's when I had a potato laptop, and I literally, on a good time, I had 12 frames. Now when it came to combat, it would drop down to 6 to 7 frames. The fact I could heal that is hilarious. And I would give other people that weren't used to me a heart attack. But when I would play with Renee always thought it was hilarious. Renee would do tanking, because Renee would have like anxieties over tanking and stuff. And I'm like, don't worry, if you're tanking, I'll heal. And we wiped one time, and my only comment to that was, oh, I just realized for this level 20 something dungeon we're doing, I had level 1 gear on. So really, when it comes to MMOs, you just gotta have a little bit of fun. There are times where people get weird and flame each other, but I'm just like, it ain't no big idea. I also think it's hilarious now if you consider something like League of Legends, because I saw recently that they're getting rid of summoner names and that apparently it's super moderated compared to a lot of other times and everything. And I'm like, that's so cool but strange, because I'm like, I remember how awful it was. And that's another thing. People were surprised because I would play like a support champion, okay, and then I'd be getting kills. And it's not like I would KS people or like take their kills. Kill steal. But I just literally would 1v1 like an assassin or something and destroy them. Because depending on the champion of support, they could be really powerful AP or AD depending on how you build them up and everything. I think that's what I find really fun with a bunch of different games, is when you can kind of do something that people won't expect. Do I want that way? Bum, bum, bum. Oh yeah, it's the jazzy song right now. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, that's like so for if you do supports, it's kind of, I wouldn't say hard, but you have to know what you're doing to have huge mastery in supports. And I had S mastery, like super big mastery in Sona. So people would be like, oh, let's just do whatever. And then me having Ludens and a bunch of other things, just almost like half healthing someone that comes up to my AD carry, and they're just like, what the fuck? Yeah, when I was super into it, I don't remember what season, because I was there since like season 1 or maybe the beginning of 2. It was like whenever 2012, 2011 was, because I checked recently because I told Renee I was curious and I had icons from like 2011, 2012. I really like seeing people be a one trick or something, because it's so funny to see like, oh, there's this person that's so good at this one thing, and I'm like, what they do to achieve this level of power. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum. The funny thing about League too for me is that I didn't do ranked. I thought, because at the time ranked got really toxic, and I was like, no, that's nonsense, and I wouldn't do rank at all. I was either unranked or I just like played it like once or twice every season. But I would teach people to play, okay, and the people I taught would end up at least plat to diamond, blah 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 blah. That like, they were super good, and I would still be able to kick their butt. And they're like, this is why you need to do ranked. And I'm like, nah, ranked is dumb. So anytime I played normals and everything, my elo was like constantly putting me up to like plat, diamond, and all that. And they would see me being unranked or something like that, and they would think I was a smurf, and I'm like, nah, I just don't play ranked, dude, it's boring. And they're like, how do you have this high elo? And I'm like, because the friends I play with are that elo. Ranked is dumb. Yeah, that's kind of why I didn't do it, because I was like already exhausted with studies and everything, and I'm like, I don't want to have to constantly do it. I just want to play whenever I want to play, and not constantly have to keep rank. I think that's why when I played Overwatch, I didn't like doing any ranked either. Oh gosh, I really did play a lot of games that people considered toxic. I remember people told me, oh, Overwatch is one of the main, or a really big toxic game, and I'm like, is it? Like, after Overwatch 2 came out, and I heard a lot of people said, oh, there's a lot of moderation now because Overwatch 1 was insanely toxic, and I'm like, wait, was it? Was it really? But maybe it's because I didn't play ranked in it. It was fun to play though. Or maybe I was part of the problem, because I remember specifically one of my favorite things to do was being Lucio and knocking people off of maps, but I felt like that was just a mechanic. A lot of people knocked people off of maps. I've literally been yeeted off the map from a roadhog where he just scorpioned me and jumped off at the same time. It's like when you rescue yank someone 14. Maybe it's because I'm so used to people trolling like that that I just think it's fun. Because I know there's people in 14 that would find stuff like rescuing as something super toxic. And I'm like, really? It's kind of funny. Like, they're just having a little giggle. Actually, I want to flip this, but I might just do the pupil first before I do that. Or no, I'll commit. Not it. Oh no, I lost it. Definitely for sure though. There was I was having a conversation recently with someone about gacha games. And I'm like, gacha games break me. I never will buy stuff to do gacha pulls, but instead I would grind for whatever currency they use, and I would save it for when whatever gacha game has like a certain pull system when I want something. So like in FGO, it was, oh, I wanted Enkidu, or I wanted Gilgamesh, Merlin. In the conversation with that person, I was like, dude, I saved up, like, you can equate it to $500 worth of the gems or whatever they're called in FGO, and I was waiting for the day they had an Enkidu or Merlin banner, and I did both banners, like half and half, and I didn't get them either time. And that's when I was like, I'm done. I didn't pick it up since. It broke me. But then the friend convinced me recently to re-download it. I did, and apparently I had a... What in the world? Hold on. Well, that's on that layer. Why aren't you doing the thing I want you to do? What? Excuse... Huh? Oh, I see what happened here. Okay, well... There we go. Wait. What are you on, layer? That's you. Oh, okay, I see what I did here. Here's the funny thing too. If you notice, I even put my fugi on the top right so you can kind of see my layers. And I don't name my layers most of the time. I'm too chaotic for that, I guess. It's like, yeah, I should name my layers. Am I going to? Depends. We shall see. Most likely not, though. Okay, well, I want this here, so where's the eyebrow? The eyebrow would work more like this. I'll kind of give it an expression. No, I'm gonna put this. Dude, I don't know what works for me. I just kind of mess around till something happens that looks good. Such is the way of the world in art. Ha 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 ha. Okay, but now I don't like this eye because it got warped. So let me just delete you. You don't exist. Hey, come back. Okay, that's good. So I'll give it 5 more minutes and I'll be ending stream because I do want to watch that other stream. I totally got lost track of time anyways, even though I intended this to only be an hour long. I got distracted talking about video games. Give you kind of like a frog shaped mouth. No, I don't like that shit. It's kind of... If I give him like a little... Bum, 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 bum. When it comes to some features, I just kind of doodle it till I can figure out. Okay, I actually really have to use the bathroom. So instead of just BRB, I'll just kind of end the stream here for the day. I'll probably finish this because I'm enjoying this and upload it later. But this will be the end of the stream. Instead of having an end scene, I will just be leaving it here to look at the menace. And then I will go. So thanks for joining, everyone. No matter what time it is for you, have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a wonderful rest of your night. there will be a chill stream plan talk tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening, depending on the time for you, where I just pretty much talk about future projects and things I want to work on. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Good night, good day.